In this video, we will be discussing the two ways to re-grease a transducer. The first method is a simple method and just involves applying some grease to where the transducer pin comes out of the transducer housing and where the mounting support is attached. The second way is more involved and involves removing the transducer. To do this, you will need the silicone grease that came with your system, as well as the small screwdriver, the Allen key for removing the transducer housing, a 1 ml syringe, and a pipette tip. These will be used to apply the new grease. The first method is a quick and easy way to reapply the exterior grease that may have been removed during the cleaning process. If you are experiencing what we call transducer drift or unstable force readings, then you may want to do the more involved method, which requires removing the transducer. For the first method of re-greasing, all you need is the pipette tip and the clear silicone grease that came with your system. So remove the lid from the grease container. Dip the pipette tip in there to get some grease on the tip. And then you will carefully and gently apply this around the transducer pin. Any excess you get in the surrounding area is okay, and it's easy to wipe off.
To prepare the transducer for the chamber, you want to make sure that it's properly greased. You can see here that this transducer has been greased already, but if it is not, you will take either a pipette tip or a 1 ml syringe and apply some of the clear silicone-based grease around that pinhole. It is also a good idea to add grease along the front edge of the transducer. This will protect against any liquid entering the transducer housing. You can take your pipette tip with grease and apply it along this edge. Draw up some grease into the syringe tip. You can place the tip of the transducer arm into the syringe and apply some grease. You do need to be careful here so you do not damage the transducer. It's a good idea to remove any of the old grease. You can take a chem wipe and wipe that away. You can now add the transducer. In order to add the transducer, take your chamber, flip it over, and add the 2 screws in the bottom. You will hold these in place and take your transducer, line it up along the edges of the chamber, and set it in place. You will feel the 2 screws on the bottom start to push against you. Hold the transducer in place and take your Allen key to secure the screws. You should now replace the tissue mount on the transducer side. You will need your screwdriver and the mount. Make sure that the back screw is loose and add it in place. You just want to make sure that the mount is flat and level in the chamber. Tighten the screw securely, but do not over tighten as you could damage the transducer. After replacing the transducer and the tissue mount, you will need to make sure that your mounts are aligned under the microscope, perform a force calibration, and then the chamber is ready for experiments.